Good evening, I'm Melody, and you're listening to Soft Talk with Ivory Road. The Creativity Companion, Chapter 1, The Spark. Creativity begins with a flicker, a whisper you can't quite ignore. It's small at first, fragile even, like a candle hesitating before it remembers its flame. Yet within that quiet light is everything: possibility, purpose, presence. You feel it not as noise, but as invitation. It hums in your chest like a word forming on God's tongue. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. Genesis 1:3. You are made from that moment, formed in the glow of divine imagination, shaped by a creator who first dreamed of color and sound and story. Before there was rhythm or rule, there was wonder. That same wonder lives in you still, waiting for room to breathe. The spark you feel is not your own invention. It's evidence of God's nearness. He still kindles hearts the way he once called galaxies into motion. The trouble is, we often mistake the spark for pressure. We think creativity demands more from us than we have to give, that we must be brilliant, productive, original. But the truth is simpler and softer. You were never meant to manufacture light, only to reflect it. The spark doesn't ask for performance. It asks for permission. It waits patiently for you to open your hands, to make space for what God is already doing. Every act of creation begins this way, in mystery, not mastery. Before a single brushstroke or sentence, there is a pause, a holy hovering. Like the Spirit over the waters, God lingers over your unformed ideas, whispering, "It's good." You don't need to rush to prove it. The spark is proof enough. Maybe you've ignored it for a while. Life has a way of layering noise over wonder. Bills to pay, rooms to clean, messages to answer. Before long, the inner light grows faint and you start to wonder if it was ever real. But sparks never die easily. They hide beneath the ashes, waiting for the gentlest breath. Even one whisper of faith, "Maybe I still can," is enough for God to fan it into flame again. Pause. Breathe. Remember a moment when you felt that holy stirring, the thrill of an idea, the shimmer of beauty you couldn't explain. That was God speaking in your native language, reminding you who you are. His first act in Genesis wasn't command or correction. It was creativity. When he said, "Let there be light," he revealed something essential about his nature and about yours. You were born to bring light into dark places, not because the world needs your perfection, but because it needs your presence. Sometimes the spark comes in stillness. Other times it arrives like fire catching dry grass. You might feel it in music, in paint, in prayer, or in the words you never say aloud. It may show up in a kitchen or classroom, in a conversation, or in the quiet walk between errands. However it comes, pay attention. The Spirit rarely shouts. More often, he whispers through color and rhythm, through the steady heartbeat of ordinary life. You don't need a studio or stage to honor that whisper. Holiness hides in the smallest acts of creation, in the way you set a table, write a note, hum a melody, fold the laundry with love. Each one is a spark offered back to its source. Creation is not limited to artists. It's the language of everyone who bears the image of God. Maybe today your task isn't to finish anything. Maybe it's simply to notice, to look at the light shining through a window and remember that it was spoken into existence for joy. To hold the idea that God still delights in what He makes, and that includes you. When you feel that warmth of inspiration flicker, don't question it. Tend it gently, say thank you, let it grow. There will be days when the spark feels too small, when the doubt creeps in like shadow. On those days, remember, even the smallest flame can change a room. You are never asked to light the whole world, only to keep your corner burning. God will do the rest. The light spreads on its own. The journey of creation always begins here with awe, not the loud kind that demands attention, but the quiet kind that draws you to your knees. Awe reorients the heart. It reminds you that every act of beauty is collaboration, not competition. The spark does not belong to you alone. It's shared between heaven and earth, between creator and created. So begin again. Whisper your yes. Let light find you. Don't worry about brilliance or outcome or applause. The spark will become what it was meant to become when you stop trying to control it and start learning to trust it. God is faithful with beginnings. Maybe tonight, when the world goes quiet, you'll feel it again. That faint hum in your chest, pulsing with promise. That's Him. The same voice that once said, "Let there be light," is still speaking softly into the dark corners of your soul. Listen, believe. Lift your face toward the warmth. The spark has never left you. It's only been waiting for you to notice. Fan into flame the gift of God that is in you. 2 Timothy 1:6. Soft Talk by Ivory Road. Breathe deep. The light is still becoming.